It is the 6th of February, 2015. This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good morning and happy Friday.
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
I'm so happy it's Friday.
I am too. I love Fridays. I always
don't
have.
know why.
Because I always look forward to the weekends.
Yes, indeedy.
Yep, it's just a
Yes,
day to
indeed.
relax and do something a little different and different, change of pace.
Yeah.
Yep, slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, depending on what's involved in your world.
And if you're not working on the weekend, then you just kick back a little bit.
That's
Maybe
exactly right.
Do a little yard work and whatever.
Whatever floats your boat.
And boating is fun.
And I do love that.
Yeah, Dave says boating is fun. All right, let's see what we have here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, you know, we have quite a, it's called a yacht club, but there's a Goldsboro Yacht and Boating and Yacht Club here in Goldsboro.
How did I not know that?
Well, Dave Parsons, somebody needs to call Dave Parsons and ask him about that, and he's been on the program a couple of years ago. He was with us.
Maybe he needs to come back.
Need to get him back in here and talk about that, because the first thing you know, it's going to be boating season.
Yes, it is, and I'm already looking forward to it.
And they inspect and help people keep their boats in good shape.
Excellent.
And, so we'll get Dave in here to talk about that again.
All right, sounds great.
Yeah, I just thought about it. It just came to me just in a flash.
In a flash.
In a flash. That's right.
Well, you know, we're not with them, obviously, but I thought about this morning when I got up, that large group of people that got on the vans from Goldsboro Parks and Rec this morning, and they went up to Wintergreen Resort, ski resort.
On their way. No, okay.
They're on their way. Well, actually, they're probably up there by now.
Okay.
And they're skiing and tubing and snowboarding most of the day today. So be careful, have fun, and we'll think about you. I'm sure you won't think about us, but we'll think about you.
They won't think about us at all.
They will not.
No,
but I know they're having a great time. Wintergreen's a cool place to go.
Yes, it is. All right, today is the 6th. Today is Canadian Maple Syrup Day.
Okay, I like maple syrup.
Yeah, okay, today is Lame Duck Day.
Oh.
No, not an injured duck.
Oh.
That's not what it's about.
Okay, what is it?
Lame duck is the ending of a political office. When you're in political office, you cannot be reelected to it.
Yes.
It's a lame duck.
So there's several meanings for the term lame duck.
Yes, there's several meanings of the term lame duck.
Yes.
And a lot of people, and when I said lame duck, you know, that's the first thing people think about.
Yes.
Particularly people who are
animal lovers?
Animal lovers, especially, yes.
Okay. You got out of that one.
Thank you. National Doodle Day.
A lot of people doodle.
Do you doodle?
No.
I
But a
used to
lot of
doodle.
people do.
I don't have time to doodle anymore.
I
used
don't
to
either.
doodle. I don't, you know. Doodle doo dah day. Anyway, bubblegum day.
Okay.
All right, girls.
You like chewing gum or bubble gum better?
Well, you know what? I used to I really liked bubblegum better.
I did too.
But I had to
Not
give it
so
up.
much anymore.
Yeah,
Me either.
Not so much anymore. Yeah. Today is Girl Scout Cookie Day. You know, they're out
Yum,
selling.
yum, yum.
Yeah, I
Which
know.
one is your favorite?
Well, you know,
I have several.
I've had to stop
Really?
cookies. Yes.
Aw.
It's
But when
cutting
you
back
could
on my
eat them,
sweet-
which one did you like?
Well, I liked them all. I mean, that's part of the
could be
reason.
part of the problem, my
Part of
friend.
it is part of the problem. That's why I can't eat a lot of sweets anymore. But here's what I do.
What do you do?
When I see a Girl Scout cookie stand somewhere, like at Walt,
You go the other
one
way?
of those big. No. No. I make a donation.
Nice.
I
Of
explain.
course
You
you
know
do.
what? I can't eat the cookies.
I can't eat your really good cookies.
Your really delicious, wonderfully delicious cookies. I can't.
Yes.
But here's a donation. So I'll give them a little money. Yeah.
Nice.
So hey.
Peanut butter, yum.
Oh.
What are those things called? Snickerdoodles?
Yes.
Yum.
And they've got some new
The
ones.
mints, yum.
Yeah, it's all good.
They are very good.
So it's Girl Scout Cookie Day. Today is Give Kids a Smile Day. Brought to you by your local dentist, right?
Yes.
There you go. That's a good idea. Give kids a smile. Today is Wear Red Day. Oh boy,
did.
I missed it.
Yes, you did.
I did
Gosh,
miss
because you
it.
wear red a lot and just didn't wear it today.
And today I didn't. I missed that. But I think that has
I got the
something
memo.
Did you? Obviously.
Yes.
Yes. That has something to do, whether it does or not, it's still important to wear red for the Red Cross.
Absolutely.
Red Cross Day. It's work. I'm not going to read that one.
Okay, let's not.
Okay, let's not read that one. Yes, I'm not going to read that one. Anyway.
That's pretty neat.
Thank you.
Happy Friday.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, I wanted to remind you about the Down East Open.
Why don't you remind us about the
Down East Open?
The Down East Open
I
thing.
think I will. That is a golf tournament that is made up of municipal golf courses, It's over a 3-day time period, March 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And when you register for this, you go to the different municipal golf courses in 3 different locations.
Wow.
I can't remember where they are.
3
I
different
know one's
places.
Goldsboro, one is Greenville. I don't remember the 3rd location.
But it's in North Carolina.
Well, it's in pretty close territory.
Proximity, yeah.
Yes. If you go to GoldsboroParksandRec.com, click on Down East Open, it'll give you details. You can actually register right there online.
There you go.
And I think it's time to go to our interviews, Wayne.
Let's do it. Today we head out to Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in Goldsboro, where Wayne Goldsboro Television's Wgtv Today, along with other media, recently tagged along on the refueling portion of a red flag mission. Flying beside us today will be a group of F-15E Strike Eagles from Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. The F-15Es were on their way to Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada for the training mission. We boarded the KC-135R Stratotanker and prepared ourselves for the flight across the country, out as far as New Mexico. The mission of the 916th Air Refueling Wing, Air Force Reserve Command, located at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, North Carolina, is to fly the KC-135R Stratotanker in air-to-air refueling missions. After settling in to the red jump seats lining the sides of the aircraft and buckling our seat belts, we were given instructions concerning the emergency passenger oxygen system. According to the instructions, it would take so many seconds to open the outer pouch, plus an additional few seconds to open the inner pouch should the cabin lose oxygen. And then after that, it would be time to put the plastic bag over your head, according to the instructor. We were given one more piece of safety information. The instructor said if there are problems, passengers should be notified by the 3 to get ready and 1 to go method. He said there'll be 3 short rings and then 1 long ring to get out. So earplugs in, seat belts latched, we sit clutching cameras, tape recorders, and notepads as the plane takes off. Though the takeoff is smooth, the ascent is sharp enough to make several passengers grab the webbing behind their seats in an effort to steady themselves against the thrust of the airplane's engines. Since it will take almost 3 hours to reach the refueling destination in the northern part of New Mexico, there's time to talk with the pilot, co-pilot, and the boom operator. He's Rick, and I'm Wayne, and we're here with Captain Mike Linger of the United States Air Force. Captain, first of all, thank you for your service to our nation, sir.
Absolutely.
No problem. Thank you for the support.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
that. Tell us a little bit about what we did today, the mission we were on.
So today we drug a few fighters through the air to get them closer to Red Flag. Red Flag Nellis is a giant fighter exercise where they get the chance to play war games so that when they go to combat, the first time they're doing dogfighting maneuvers and chasing an enemy isn't the first time they're actually chasing an enemy. They go and practice it first so they're proficient and so that we can be the best Air Force in the world. And that's how we do that, is at things like Red Flag, and even here at Home Station we do things called Racer Talent every month, which is a smaller scale version of Red Flag.
And Red Flag is very competitive, is it not?
It is. It's very competitive, and actually I heard that our guys were going over to be the Red Force, so they're the aggressors this time. So they're helping the newer guys to learn from them as well. So they get the chance to learn and they get a chance to teach while they do it. So it's a very aggressive, very high tempo. They only have 2 weeks to get all this stuff done, and so it's jam-packed every day. Fly, fly, fly.
When we're watching this refueling taking place, to the civilian, it looks like, oh, this can't be very hard, but there's a lot of cooperation going on. How do you work that out? You're in touch with the boom operator while you're flying the plane. All this is happening. How do you get so synced up so well on this? Training,
and mission planning. So it starts well before. So they coordinate for the flight. They coordinate the time that we're going to take off. They coordinate the order that we're going to take off, the frequencies that we're going to use, the airspace where we're going to meet up. All that is coordinated ahead of time, so that when we show up, we just go out and we fly, and it all works out meeting up. And then once we get into the air, we're all talking to each other on the radio. We coordinate. Air traffic control is talking to us. They make sure that we are the right people to join up together, because they don't want 2 aircraft to come close together. They're not supposed to be.
Right.
But as you saw in the back, they get very close to us.
Yes, they do.
And so we don't want that to happen inadvertently. So it's all radio coordinations, lots of radios. We had 2 or 3 different radios going on the entire flight, talking to people. And so all that's coordinated. And then on the interplane of the jet itself, we're talking to the boom operator in the back. You saw they're in the back of the plane, and the pilots were in the front of the plane. So we're constantly talking to them. They're letting us know where the receivers are. We can't see in the back. We don't have little backup camera or rear view mirrors back there. So we're relying on our boom operators to tell us where they're at and to make sure that all that stays safe as well.
Are you relying on a lot of computers to help sync this up as well? Are you doing it? Is everything in your hands when that plane is connected, that F-15 is connected to that KC-135?
Everything is in our hands when they're connected. We have computer safe falls, so we use our autopilot to maintain a level flight, but we don't allow it to turn us.
Yeah.
Because an unexpected turn in the wrong moment can knock them off or cause a dangerous situation.
Right.
So that part's manual, the navigation part is manual, the autopilot is just holding altitude. We're controlling all the airspeed in the front, and then in the back, the boom operators are controlling the entire boom system. And so if the receiver aircraft gets too far outside of what we call the envelope of where the boom likes to hang out, if they get too far outside of that, it automatically disconnects. So that part is automatic. It's a fail-safe. Fail-safe, thank you. But they can also trigger themselves. So if that system doesn't work, the fail-safe doesn't work, then they are a backup safety net to keep the receivers in check.
So while we were refueling today, at what altitude were we and how fast were we going?
So we were at flight level 250, it's about 25,000 feet above the ground, and we were going at 315 knots, which is about 450 ground speed that we were doing. So if I did the mental math, just off the top of my head, it's easily a couple hundred miles per hour.
Yeah.
How many gallons are we putting in each F-15 approximately?
So it's tough. We don't go by gallons, we go by weight, by
Right.
pounds. And so typically each time we refuel the 15s is about 10,000 pounds of gas. So at a density of 6 pounds per gallon, you take 6 into 10 and
It's a lot of math.
It is a lot of
Wayne will
math.
figure it out.
So we used to use the pounds.
Oh, well, at 6 pounds a gallon, that's lighter than regular gasoline for your car, isn't it?
Yes.
At about 8 pounds a gallon for the car.
We use
and
Jet
6
A.
pounds. Jet. All right, is the KC-135 using the same fuel that the F-15 uses?
We do. All the fuel in our tanks we can either use or we can offload to a small extent. We can't offload below a stovepipe, and so that allows us to be able to get back and land.
Right.
But otherwise, it's all the same
Yeah, we'll be
fuel.
able
I'm
to do
glad
that.
you did
That
that.
is great.
Glad we did that.
How about balancing the weight of the plane when you're refueling these jets? The fuel in that plane is moving around.
Correct.
It's changing. How do you maintain that?
So we have multiple tanks on the aircraft. We have to maintain balance left and right and to maintain balance forward and back.
Okay.
And so as we do that, each tank has different pumps and drains. So we can move fuel forward, we can move fuel back, we can move fuel left and right, etc. And so we use that to maintain the balance. And so we're just constantly going back and forth with the pumps. I don't know if you heard while you were back there, sometimes on the refueling you'll hear a click, and that's us changing the pumps to maintain that weight and balance.
Wow. So it's consistently staying in balance all
Correct.
the time. Even as it's coming off onto the F-15, it's pumping in to keep the balance.
Correct.
That's a good thing. I get you.
All right.
Wow.
Captain, where's home for you? Where are you from?
I'm from West Virginia, so not too far away. I really like it here in North
What
Carolina.
part of West Virginia?
I'm from Weston and my wife's from Clarksburg.
Outstanding. So how long have you been in the Air Force?
I've been in the Air Force since 2000. I went to the Air Force Academy, graduated in 2004,
Right.
and I've been started pilot training back then, and now I've been flying since. And I was at MacDill before here, and I've been here just over 4 years.
Great. Well, thank you again for your service to our country, and we appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
What does happy feet? What's that mean?
Oh, that's my call sign because on my spare time, my wife and I, we competitively dance in swing and country western.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you?
Wow. See
We do.
there?
That's good. That's right. That's right. Would you be obliged to give us a sample?
Sample, most of it's line dance, but we do.
Okay,
So
what-
for a line dance, sometimes
yeah,
we do
right.
rock, step, triple step, rock, step, triple step. So you just did a line dance.
That's good. That's good.
What's this called?
That's got grapevine.
Grapevine. Yeah,
Yep.
okay. All
So you do
right.
grapevines back and forth and you have a good old time.
Outstanding. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good
Really
sport.
appreciate it.
Appreciate what you do for us.
Thank you.
The boom operator has taken his place at the control. There's a spot on either side of him where the media takes turns lying down to look out the window. Flying at about 300 feet below the KC-135R Stratotanker, the F-15E Strike Eagle is soon within range. The boom operator lowers the boom. Below the plane, a sea of densely packed white clouds roll by, like reversible waves. Those skies were gray before takeoff. At 22,000 feet above the ground, the sun is shining. And Rick and Wayne are speaking with Master Sergeant Steve Stanton. Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure.
And thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
Now, how long have you been in the Air Force?
Since 2003.
And where are you from? Where's home?
I'm originally from Oklahoma.
Originally from Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
I think we saw Oklahoma earlier.
Yes, I think we flew over it.
Well, you did.
As a matter of fact. So what do you do in the Air Force, Steve?
I'm an in-flight refueler.
And what does that mean?
I lay on my stomach and pass gas for a living.
I know exactly what
I
that
gotta
means.
do that.
Yeah. I get paid for it.
I know.
All right.
Yeah, we stretch out the legs for the aircrafts that can't necessarily make it across the pond or
Right.
make it to their next duty station by giving them gas, mobile gas station in the sky.
A mobile gas station in the sky. And that what kind of plane is that?
That's a KC-135
From Boeing.
from Boeing.
Outstanding.
707 airframe.
A 707.
Are those things built in 1957 that we were flying today?
It probably was. We have some 57 models all the way through 62 and 63.
Wow,
Yep.
wow. Now, one of the things we were kind of curious about is the Air Force Reserve Command. What's the difference in that and active duty?
The obligation. The obligation between active duty is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, versus the reserve side of the house is your weekend a month and your 2 weeks a year. For a flyer like ourselves, it's a little bit, our obligation a little bit bigger than that. Normally it takes about 100 days a year to stay current qualified and keep the mission rolling.
Is there a difference in the mission between the two?
Just the obligation as the taskings come down, as far as the active duty gets tasked with other missions that sometimes we don't, or if they can't handle everything, they'll bring the reserves in to backfill those guys.
Wow.
So basically we move people, we move passengers, we do medevac, and we move cargo, and we also refuel.
One of the things, Master Sergeant, I noticed that on our mission that we just had the opportunity to spend some time, that it didn't seem like very long for these jets needed to refuel. How far can these F-15s go before they refuel?
I believe the average F-15 without a bunch of bags and tanks on it carry about 20,000 pounds of gas. So they're about 2.5 hour, 3 hour missions is what they're eligible
Yeah.
for. So we're there about every hour to make sure they're cycling through, make sure their systems are still working, make sure we can offload the gas to them.
And that's something we don't think a lot about, is that when these planes, these jets are deployed and they're serving in wartime, those KC-135s have got to be up there. They've got a long mission.
We're pretty much circling overhead 24 hours a day,
Wow,
7 days a week.
that's amazing.
All right. Now, you also serve other as well, do you not, aside from Air Force?
I'm actually an ART. I'm an Air Reserve Technician. So my full-time job is here, and I'm a reservist on the flip side.
So you do a little bit of everything then.
I'm here all the time.
You're all over the place.
And we're glad you do.
Yes,
I appreciate
indeed.
it.
So what would you say is the easiest or the most fun part of your job?
Getting in the jet and going to fly.
And going to fly.
Yeah, getting away from the desk.
I would think so.
And what do you find the most difficult part of it?
Keeping up with the training, keeping everybody current qualified. It takes a lot. It's a major obligation.
Well, tell us about your training, Master Sergeant. Where did you get your training?
I actually went to Altus, Oklahoma, was there for about 4 months. And then, of course, I came out of the Marine Corps, so I didn't have to go back to survival school and all that stuff. So I came back here. It takes about a year to train one of us. And roughly, I think it takes a little over $1 million to train a boom operator. So, and then once they get back here, there's some continuation training. They fly for 15, 20, 30 missions before we actually turn them loose on our own.
Wow. How many missions do you personally get to fly a year? You say that's what you like
Right.
to do. How often do you get to do it?
Locally, if I don't deploy, I fly about 100 missions a year, roughly between 200 and 300 hours a year.
Wow.
If I deploy, it's usually, pushing 270 to 300 hours a year.
Wow.
So 100 missions would be a couple of times a week,
On average, yes, sir.
on average. Wow. Have you deployed?
I have. I think the last time I deployed was 2012. So, but our rotation's coming back up, and we're coming due. So,
All right, come in.
Well, you do a great job, and we appreciate what
absolutely,
you
it's
do.
our pleasure, and we enjoy it. We wouldn't be here if we didn't like what we did.
Right.
Exactly. All right. I'm Wayne, and he's Rick, and this is Master Sergeant Steve Stanton, United States Air Force. Thank you.
Thank you.
back on Wayne Goldsboro television.
Yes, we are.
Okay, I just had a funny thought. Anyway, Literacy Connection on
Yes,
East Ash
what's
Street.
going on?
Oh, I'm telling you, they have got it together.
I'm sure they do.
Let me tell you, they're doing so much over there. Not only literacy in reading, but literacy in math, literacy in computers.
Exactly
They
right.
teach people computers, they teach people math, they teach people how to write a check. You know, there's some people here in Wayne County
That do not know how to
that
write a check.
do not know how to write a check. And it's only because either they were not taught or
Right.
they have a
learning disability.
a learning disability of some kind, and that's fine.
Right.
But there are ways you can learn how to handle your money, how to open a checking account, how to write a check, how to save money, what a savings account is.
Oh my goodness, between the Literacy Connection and Bank on Wayne through United Way,
Yeah.
there are two different entities that do work together.
In fact, that has begun. Bank on Wayne is now part of Literacy Connection.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah, and
How
it's
about that?
and still, you know, with a lot of help from United Wayne.
Of course, of course.
Wonderful organization, Lee Holtz and everybody with Bank on Wayne and with Literacy Connections. They're just doing
Great
a wonderful job.
partnership.
I'm telling you, they're doing a wonderful job over there. And couldn't get Pat Yates in.
Maybe we can get her soon.
Well, I hope we can get her soon, but she pushes the other people like Lee
Yeah.
and others and Amanda to come in and talk to us about
Right.
Literacy Connections. And you can go by Literacy Connections in the
Tell 'em where it is.
morning or the afternoon. It's in the old Sportsman's World complex. I'm sorry, right next door to that.
Yes, over by Nash Printing.
Nash Printing.
Where
What
it
used to be Nash Printing Company, 2101 D or C, East Ash Street. And you can go by there any time of day, and they're holding classes all the time. Every time I go in there, they have classes, and the place is packed with people learning. And it's free.
But however, they are looking volunteers. They're always looking
Oh,
volunteers.
they need help.
To come and be a part of this. An
Yes.
hour a week, 2 hours a week, whatever amount of time that you have free and you feel like you can give of your time, just give them a call because they are really in need of additional volunteers to help with this program.
They certainly are that. And anytime you go by there, you'll see all kinds of makes and models, new cars, new trucks, old trucks, all kinds of vehicles, which tells me that people from all walks of life are in there getting help.
That's exactly
People
right.
from all walks of life are getting help. I mean, we're talking about people who own companies
Yes.
and businesses who
Yes.
have hundreds of people working for them have a learning disability or a reading disability. My own father, who passed away many years ago, couldn't read.
Really.
My own dad, because I explained this the other day in an interview, that when my grandfather, and they were all farmers, and this is back in the early 1900s, he was 8 years old, that would have been 1925.
Wow.
My grandfather pulled him off the old mule he was riding to school and said, "Son, I hate to tell you this, but you can't go to school anymore. I need you here on the farm."
Oh, wow.
And that's what happened to a lot of people back then. So he never learned to read, but he got through life just fine. He was a builder. He could look at a building and tell you how many brick were in it and how
Wow.
long it would take to build it and all that. But that's beside the point. The point is, there are people, you'd be surprised, there are people who are in positions of importance
Yes.
who don't know how to read. People who are relying on these other people to either provide employment, provide a paycheck, and they have trouble reading or doing math or working a computer, in fact. And there's classes available that learning.
They teach so many different classes.
Literacy Connections. So let me give you a phone number.
I think we've looked once before and did not find it.
You know, you're absolutely right. Let me tell you where it is.
Yes. Let's do that.
It's up the hill from Stony Creek Park in the former Nash Printing Company
Right
building.
beside the senior center.
Right beside the Senior Center at 2101 East Ash Street. So
That's exactly right.
tell them we sent you over there, okay?
That's right.
And
Tell 'em
everything
Kim
they
and Wayne.
do is confidential. Everything is confidential.
That's right.
Whew. Okay.
If you're looking to be active and take some classes, we have for you Zumba being offered at the Herman Park Center on Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 to 7. We have line dancing, we have urban ballroom dancing, and the list goes on and on. If you want to get active and get busy, give them a call, Goldsboro Parks and Rec.
.com.
.com. And guess what time it is? Time to go home.
Oh,
We
it
are
is
done for
already.
today.
We're done. We're done for the week, as a matter of
Yes,
fact.
we
We'll be back in
are.
here Monday. Join us Monday for this, whatever this is.
Have a great weekend.
And have a great weekend. Thank you very much. Until Monday, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.